Good afternoon to all. I, Professor Amar Mudiraj, welcome you all in my first video lecture on process state. Firstly, we're going through a key points which we are going to cover in this video lecture. First of all, we are going to define what is process and which are the various process states in operating system present. The process state diagram which discuss various states and their interconnections with respect to the process. Firstly, we're going to start our lecture by having a learning objectives. We define after successful view of this video lecture, we'll able to understand what is process and their states. Secondly, we'll try to understand how and why processes need to switch from one state to another state. As per as the cognizant level, its understanding level as per this video concern. So let's begin with the first process concept. As operating system need to execute program, each program can be have a objective with concern. The program can be treated as a job, and each job is working in a time sharing system where a program need to be executed by a user or it can be individual task. As far as the textbooks use this term job and process almost as interchangeable or synonymous to each other. Definition as far as the book concern is a process means a program in execution where a process execution must be in a progress as a sequential fashion. That means when a process going to execute, that time the process need to execute in a sequential manner without any interrupt. All the processes includes program counter, stack and data. When we treat a process in a memory, it would be look like this, where this will be start with the size of 0 to max. Max will be dynamic value which defining by the process as per as the process require in a operating system to execute. It have multiple number of parts, but some of the most general parts which we need to be considered, that is text, data, heap and stack. Each component of a process have their various functionalities and they are placed to execute anything into the main memory. So let's start with the process state. Whenever a process is executing, it need to be change their states. Likewise, a human require multiple number of states in a day by day scenario, like walking, singing, sleeping, eating, thinking. With the same passion, each process has to be go with some states while the process is going to be executed in the main memory. These are the 5 most general states in each process required in operating system. It starts with the new, where the process will get created in the main memory. Next state is running or run or execute, where instructions are going to be executed on a main memory with respect to the processor. Third state is waiting, where the process is going to wait for some event to occur, like interrupt or some IO events or some miscellaneous kind of need, which process need to be executed, and if that event cannot be get occur, the process cannot run. Second state is a ready state, where the process is waiting to be get assigned by the processor, where process are ready with their all requirement and now they require the attention of processor for their execution. Last state for each process is required, that is process need to be complete their execution and they will send into the termination state. This is the diagram how process is going to be switched from one state to another state. First of all, process will comes with the new state. It get admitted into the ready state, where a process control block will get created, and this process control block will getting entire information about process like states, process ID, process requirements, resources type, size of process, whether type of process, whether it is child process or individual process. Once the process will get ready for execution, with the help of dispatch scheduler, it will send it to the run state. When the process in a running state, there are 2 possibilities. Either process will complete its execution or if any interrupt get occur which can going to avoid the normal execution or normal sequential execution of process, it will be get interrupted and sent to the ready state for next option or next chance. If process will successfully execute their all required instructions, it will send it to the termination state, which means a process completed its execution and process will release the memory as soon as possible, and whichever resources process has occupied during the run state, the process will exempt or process will exit all the resources to the operating system, so the resources can be get used by another processes. There one possibility that if in a running state, if something goes wrong, that means a resources which process require in a future may not be available in the operating system. The process need to be create some IO event, and these IO event or wait will need to be get send the process into the waiting state. This waiting state is maintaining some waiting queue by the operating system, and this waiting state is required to complete whatever requirement is get generated by the process for the operating system, like input output resources or some dependent processes need to be get execute. These all processes need to be get fulfill their requirement, and once that requirement will be get completed, the waiting state process will send into the ready state. That means all IO or events are available for execution. Now process can be go into the ready state, and finally the process will go for running state during the execution, and once all instructions are get execute successfully according to the requirement, process will send into the termination state. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you.